Okay, so first off, at the heart of this reading is the Lovers, and the Lovers is in the reverse position. It's crossed by the Hierophant. The Hierophant indicates to me that this is a traditional type of marriage. This can be a situation in which both parties are no longer in love with one another, but they're staying together because of contractual agreements in the terms of, marriage and civil unions and things like that. What's in the recent past is the Eight of Cups, which means you have sailed on from this situation, okay? A lot of you have undergone divorces, separations, breakups, split ups, moving houses as well. A lot of you that might have been in stable relationships, I do feel within the past 3 months, during the entire eclipse season, a lot of relationships have ended, okay? And you have definitely moved forward and you have sailed on to something else. Now, I do feel for a lot of you that haven't had like a complete clean break, a lot of you are going to, by the end of this month, figure out that this is something that I need to do for myself in order for me to advance forward with new relationships, because there is definitely a new relationship coming into the picture. Okay? So if you haven't already gotten, out of a marriage, a failed marriage, I do feel it's going to happen. For those of you who are single and have never been married and are, looking around, I do sense there's new love coming in here with the Page of Cups as the energy that's coming through. The Page of Cups indicates to me this is a proposal of love, this is a declaration, and this is an offer on the table for you. With this card, I do feel there is going to be communication. Pages indicates, they're usually messengers. And in terms of the cup energy, it's definitely a gesture and it's definitely a promise that is offer on the table for you. Whether or not you choose to go with this, I do feel that it's definitely legit, is in the upright position, okay? What's crowning you here is the Ten of Cups, which is everything that you have wanted in an emotional relationship. So Ten of Cups indicates emotional fulfillment. It is the apex of the emotional experience with another person. This is leaping for joy and wanting to join with another person, feeling very, very emotionally fulfilled with another person. Okay, so a lot of you might have moved on from a troublesome past. With the Eight of Cups is usually something that you've invested a lot of feelings into, and you're just, you moved on from something and then you met somebody else who fulfills you emotionally in the way that the past relationship might not have, or who boosts your self-esteem, who's very similar to you, very like-minded, possibly even just very similar in style, in thinking, in, emotional connections. And you're kind of rattled because now you don't know what to do, because this is just, you just got over something else and you might have been wanting to socially date, and then all of a sudden you get hit by this new relationship and it's all happening too soon. And you have the Lovers here. For a lot of you that might be single, I do feel that this is a really good relationship where it's not just the physical attraction. It has all the components necessary. Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, that is conducive for a marriage. Okay, so it's a very, very stable relationship. So for those of you who might have like recently broken up with somebody, you're being hit by another person that is just like the ideal person. For a lot of you that might have gotten through divorces or separations, you're being hit now with another person that is really good for you, but you're scared. You're getting cold feet. Okay, I'm getting cold feet with this as well. So in terms of what's in your environment that you're not aware of is the Ace of Cups, which is you have to give this a chance. You would be crazy to not give this a chance and see how things are going to pan out for you. Because the Ace of Cups indicates to me that whatever hardships, whatever, sense of depletion of your self-esteem, whatever that has transpired for you to, walk away and to get yourself to this point, you've done a lot of healing. And this is something that is going to be really good for you to bring forward into the future. Because the advice here is you have the world. And basically everything you have ever wanted is at your disposal. I do feel a lot of travel associated with for Virgos as well. A lot of you might be planning travels, or you might have news from overseas, especially on the love front. If there is a geographical separation between you and a lover, there's definitely some bridging of that gap, some communication coming through. And the world, as the advice here is, you have to do it big. You have to really think about, I guess, you're surrounded here. This is similar to the Aquarius reading. You're surrounded by cup energy, so there's love everywhere. So there's no reason why you shouldn't feel optimistic, okay? Because I do feel a lot of you are jumping with joy the second half of this month. You're ecstatic, all right? In terms of your external environment, I do sense that for a lot of you, on the work front, on the love front, Seven of Wands reverse indicates to me the end of adversary. So this is the end of fighting. This is the end of conflict. This is the end of the patterns where you have to constantly prove yourself, where you have to constantly defend whatever it is that you believe in, where you have to go against the majority, even though the majority might not, do things the right way. So this is definitely coming to the end, because this new love situation, and also on the work front, a lot of opportunities are opening up for you. So you don't really care what other people say. You're at a point where you know that innately you've been doing things the right way. So that's why these opportunities are just pouring in. So who cares what people, naysayers, are doing? But I definitely see them stopping. The conflict is being halted. In terms of your hopes and fears here, there's still a little bit of self-doubt when it comes to incorporating this person into your life. And I do feel a lot of it is going to be a new person. And for some reason, I do feel that if there is travel indicated for you with the World card, I do sense, well, the World, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it also indicates something that a person that you're very physically attracted to. But there's enough emotional rapport here where things can work out, but I do feel there is some complication. Maybe one of you is traveling, maybe the other person is from like a different country, or it's just some differences in cultural, either geographically you're in different areas, or culturally you're just not the same. So there's some difficulties in trying to make plans to have this other person in your life, okay? It's not that I don't feel that it's not that you don't want to, but I do sense that it's difficult because this came out from the left field and you didn't really plan it. It just happened. You were in the right place at the right time. The person came into the mix, and then it just happened, and now you're just like, okay, I have to redraw my plans. If for some reason, if you've been, planning the next phase of your life during the Mercury in retrograde period, which ran from, I believe, September 17th to October 9th, if you've been planning things, important milestones in your life or important events in your life during the Mercury in retrograde period, it makes sense, because now, unfortunately, you're going to have to redo it, okay? In terms of the outcome here, we have the Eight of Coins, which is the Diligence card. And this is like the magician in the making. Let me pick it up and show you. So you can see him in the woods conjuring things and, putting the pentacles out in place. So the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles, is basically, working very, very diligently in order to get things off the ground. And this is a relationship that that you're more than willing to invest the time and the work, because it's worth it. However, I do feel we have the Tower in reverse, which indicates to me the old ways that you've been dealing with relationships, or even whatever plans was like implemented or planned out or thought out or conjured up during the Mercury in retrograde period. You need to let it dissolve organically and proceed with something new. And in the future here, we have the Two of Swords. So we have Two of Wands, Two of Swords, which indicates major decisions. But you're putting off this decision. You're putting off this decision. You're taking it slow, which is the right thing to do. So if this is a brand new relationship, I do feel for a lot of you that if this is a brand new relationship, there's some kind of opposition regarding this relationship with the Seven of Wands, it could be like it screams of like Romeo and Juliet to me. It's like family disapproving of this, or people around you are telling you, no, don't do it. I don't know why, because it's Ten of Cups. So, this is like something that is very emotionally fulfilling for you. So, in the past, you might have been grappling with some type of inner conflict about whether or not to re-engage in a stable relationship, because it looks to me to be very stable. So a lot of you might be grappling with whether or not this is the right thing to do. And now for the second half of this month, you're just like, I don't really care. I'm going to do it. So it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. But at the same time, you're practical enough to take it very slow, which is also, surprising. You're not overwhelmed with passion, mainly because it's a compatible element. It's water rather than fire. So that's why you're not rash about this, and you're not, going to burn yourself out. You're approaching this in a very even-handed and even-hearted manner. And furthermore, the other person is meeting you halfway. So it is going to be a very romantic second half of this month. You are going to be ecstatic. The world is your oyster. Everything here is everything you've ever wanted. I do feel a lot of you are, if you look at this card, the little bunny with a little heart is definitely encased inside this globe, okay? And when I see this card, I always feel that, like mentally and physically, you might want to expand there might be travel, you might want to expand your world, you might want to date around, but deep down, your heart is very protective. Okay, so I do sense there's still, taking it slow and protecting your heart. It's still in the spread, which is good. You don't want to rush and burn out, but I don't feel you're going to burn out, because I don't have a lot of fire energy, like wands, associated with this. I do feel for a lot of you, I do sense for a lot of you too, you might be, let me see here. Okay, so let the love situation aside, the love situation, it's foolproof. It looks very favorable. It looks fruitful. And you can't really go wrong. You have like three of the best cards in the deck, which is the Ten of Cups, emotional completion. Okay, so total emotional happiness. Ace of Cups, which is new love. The World, which is possibilities, expansion. So for a lot of you, there's definitely financial news coming through as well from abroad, okay? Projects or some type of project paying off, and you're seeing dividends on that, okay? And as a result of it, one project might end, or you're getting news that someone wants a project done a specific way, and you're in it too deep already, so you're just thinking to yourself, should I just submit it the way it is, or should I, go back to the drawing board? A lot of you are just going to submit it as is because you've invested too much time in it, and the other person is not really complaining, so there's no need to go back and, reinvent the wheel here. A lot of you are waiting on financial news as well, and it's definitely going to come through for you, I do feel, by the end of this month, okay? Around that Halloween time period. And once again, going back to the monthly reading, be careful about invitations when it comes to Halloween, okay? If you're thinking about dressing up this month, dress as a fox. I would say either as a fox or like a magician. I do feel that's where you're going to make a lot of, that's where you're going to turn heads, okay? Like a wizard, a magician, a half jester, half wizard, or a fox costume. That would be really fun. So I do sense this is something you might want to entertain by the end of this month, okay? So it's a good look on you. So Virgos, you are going to have a phenomenally romantic rest of October, okay? I do feel that, we have Venus in going direct again. It went direct, I believe, on the 8th of this month. So a lot of the lovers and, Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, and things like that have been popping up across the board for a lot of signs. And I do sense that, you know, with Venus going direct, there's a lot of clarity when it comes to what kinds of relationships we want, what kind of partner has been through thick and thin with us. So I do feel throughout this, the next 2 weeks, you're going to encounter a situation where you know who you want to be with, and you're not afraid to, you're not getting the cold feet, you're not afraid to jump into new relationships.